Thinking Aloud. Conversations on the leading edge of knowledge and discovery with psychologist Jeffrey Mishlove.
But since you brought up shamanism, it does seem to me that in the literature of shamanistic training, there's a great deal we could learn about remote viewing. Because they often, I mean, to become a shaman, sometimes it's a requirement that you are sent off to the jungle to find objects that have been hidden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A person is often picked to be trained as a shaman because something strange is happening with them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when a kid in our culture has something strange happen to him, what do? We send him to the doctor because they must be sick.
Mm-hmm.
And the kid is told he's sick and maybe given drugs to suppress whatever's happening.
Yeah.
That is not a supportive environment like being told, hey, you may have the talent to become a shaman. We're going to apprentice you with old so-and-so, that good shaman in the next village, and maybe you'll get somewhere. What a difference that can make.
Mm-hmm.
One of my students at the Institute of Transpersonal Psychology did his dissertation research on what he called the bright shadow.
Mm-hmm.
This was a term I had never heard before, although he said Carl Jung actually used it. Most people have heard of the idea of the shadow part of our minds, the shameful parts that we repress and don't want to own up to. But it turns out there have always been a fair number of kids, usually, who have some fantastic spiritual experience, just like a grown-up might have. And when they tell it, they're told the devil's possessing them, they're told they're sick and taken to the doctor, and they end up totally repressing this part of themselves in order to get by. And later in life, they realize they took some vital part of their own psyche and squeezed it down, and their life has been very lacking because of that. My student was someone who had had this happen to him, which created a considerable personal interest. And if they can do psychological work to unrepress this bright shadow part, it's very important. So here you are, you have something that may be psychic, and in one culture you're told you're nuts. Maybe you need to be institutionalized, you must be schizophrenic. You know, some of the old tests of psychopathology included a belief in psychic stuff as an instance that you were probably crazy.
Yeah, by definition.
Yeah, by definition. Whereas if you're told you're talented, it's very different.
Our time is up, Charlie. This has been a wonderful discussion.
And just remember, Jeff, you're probably talented rather than crazy. All the viewers, too. No, let me add to that. You can be crazy, but that's independent of whether or not you're psychic. Crazy people have psychic experiences, right? You might be both. But just because you've had an unusual psychic or spiritual experience does not automatically mean you're mentally ill in any form.
Thank you for being with me, Charlie.
My pleasure.
And thank you for being with us.